and welcome to Nonny, Yanga's flagship talk show where we discuss all the hot topics. October is Black History Month here in the UK, and we can't let it pass by without celebrating some of the most notable and influential Black people in the mainstream today. Here to help me do that are two of the show's favourites, Editor-in-Chief of Glam African magazine, Afia Adom, and broadcaster Lakme Banjo. Hi, ladies. We've got the Journo panel.
I love that we're two of the favourites.
It's a really nice trio, and surprise, surprise, I'm not going to go back to camera because we're just going to go straight back into the discussion. And let me give you a clue. You're getting a car. You're getting a car.
I wish.
Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, amazing.
Oprah Winfrey. It's funny, I think because of social media and because there are so many kind of, I wouldn't call them Z-list, but yeah, let's call them Z-listers, C-listers, or Black people who are really popular mainstream stars. Oprah seems to have gone into the background, but she is still a phenomenal woman, and especially as a journalist, she's somebody we definitely must celebrate, right?
I think with Oprah, she's like omnipotent, isn't she? She's just, even if she's in the background, she's just always with us.
Oh, that's that big O.
Yeah, she was just somewhere here. Oprah's guiding me, and like you said, as a journalist, she's phenomenal. I mean, only she can have her own magazine, and she's on every single cover.
I know, it's true.
Yeah, I know.
Every
I saw
single
that. Yeah,
cover
yeah, yeah.
is Oprah, and
she gets away with it. She gets
Of
away
course
with
she
it.
does. You know, she has her own network, and it's called the OWN. She has her own network. I'm just going to say that again.
She is amazing.
She literally
No, she
is
is.
the pinnacle
And
of
you know,
everything.
one thing I love about Oprah is that she's crossed every territory, hasn't
Yeah.
she? Middle America. You know, you talk about the Tom Bradys of the world. They still sit down and tell their story. Ellen DeGeneres will sit. She came out on Oprah's show.
Oprah's show, yeah.
Everybody resonates with her. Why do you think that is?
I just think it's because of the kind of choices of stories that she tells. I think she doesn't limit herself. So she tells anything, but in a very groundbreaking way, and puts the Oprah touch on it. And suddenly you're just really, really sucked into what she's talking about. She tells stories. You absolutely nailed it. She tells stories in the best way, and we can't ever kind of sweep her under the carpet. And I'll tell you one more thing that she does really, really well is that she doesn't just hog her position. She brings people on.
she brings people on. Oprah, bring me on.
no.
I know,
She
she's
does.
like me.
Hey, please.
Because Iyanla Vanzant and herself are they were all kind of famous at the same time when they come up. And Iyanla always kind of gives credit to Oprah that, her and Oprah were...
And Dr. Phil.
And Dr. Phil, absolutely Dr. Phil. And I think for someone like Iyanla, who is in the same kind of realm as Oprah, both two strong Black women from kind of similar backgrounds, competing for the same job. And what usually happens, especially in media, they'll try and pit you against...
Or they shut the door,
Or they shut the door. But in their case, Oprah was able to kind of continue with her success and also not forget about Iyanla, which is great.
It's a good point. And let me bring this to you quickly, Afia. She's worth $4 billion.
Yeah.
4 billion.
It's a lot of money.
Hey.
But when you think
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So Oprah herself is worth $4 billion, but Netflix just announced, so whole Netflix just announced that they're worth $8 billion. So one woman,
Person is
$4
worth
billion,
half.
one whole company, $8 billion.
Yeah.
That shows you how powerful
Do you
she
know what, though?
is.
Would you say, is Oprah a relatable role model, though? Do you think that money is just too far-fetched? I'm not sure if she got even involved in the kind of Black Lives Matter debate. Do you know what I mean? Is she?
No,
I think
it's
with
really
Oprah,
murky, this one.
I think with Oprah, she's that kind of Black woman or that Black person that has sort of transcended Black America. She's had to do
Can
that
you?
to get she had to get middle America. Do you understand? So she had to get Lance Armstrong on her show to come out and say, actually, I did cheat.
I don't.
She was just being a bit tactical, you know. It's a bit like the Barack, I mean, I know we'll get onto it, but it's a bit like the Barack Obama effect. Like, you can't really blame her for it because she had a target, you know.
I don't blame her for that. But then, so if we're talking about Black history figures, and we spoke off camera and you were saying, you know, they don't all have to be famous. There should be people on the list who we celebrate that are just, you know, have paved ways for people.
Absolutely.
But with Oprah Winfrey, is she still relatable to Black America?
Which is a good question.
I think she is because with her network, I think she still does try and tell Black stories. She still does have shows on there.
I'm not buying this.
No?
No. Because I think yes, she's done really well, and you know, she's struggled and all of that kind of thing, which is really good. But is she relatable now? That's the question, isn't it?
This is, that's what I wonder.
Yeah, is she
I
relatable
wonder.
now? Does the young black girl in America...
Can they say, I want to be Oprah?
It's very easy to say. It's like, I mean, dare I say it, I think a lot more girls find Beyonce a lot more relatable than Oprah.
I think Oprah for maybe our generation, we're only a couple of years older. For us, maybe Oprah was the pinnacle. And I would agree with you that for maybe girls that are younger, it's maybe more Beyonce or even Lupita, people like that. But I guess I do hear what you're saying, you know, not having $4 billion, putting yourself on the cover of your own magazine every single time. You know, it's a lot.
Oprah, just, find us. Hello. We're going to tag you in this clip. But let's talk about Barack Obama. I'm too scared to start. Somebody take it from me.
Okay,
take it from me.
I discussed this yesterday. Barack Obama, right? I think the issue. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me land.
Okay.
The issue is when you start talking about Barack Obama is, as the first black president of the United States, it was expected that he would solve all the problems of black America in the first 4 years. And in the second 4 years. And that was never going to happen because he didn't have the House. It was a Republican House. He was the only Democrat. So he couldn't get a lot of his policies that he wanted to through. But also, again, like Oprah, he had to transcend and be that kind of black person.
I think this is where we
How far
disagree.
did he transcend? Beyonce sang at his inauguration.
But when it came to Black Lives Matter, he perhaps didn't come out as strongly as people
some
would have
wanted to.
Ferguson. But it's not just Black Lives Matter.
Because he couldn't.
I completely get the argument.
He didn't.
Yeah, he didn't. Exactly. And I think that's the thing with the whole, like, you know, legislation in America. Completely get the numbers and the House and, you know, Supreme Court judge and that kind of thing. That's completely different.
Politics.
Yeah, I completely get that. That, you know, that would have restricted him hugely in moving the African American community forward in America. And I get that. And I'm sure they would. I think Obama still today stands as a representation and as an example that the American dream can still exist. And I don't think that it's kind of, in my opinion anyway, I think Obama, I mean, we use him as the figurehead for, you know, black people and he's empowering us. One off.
Yeah,
one off, should I say.
Only one, and I think
but I still don't think that Obama has, going back to your topic on, you know, how relatable, I don't think Obama can relate to the average African American.
He is so relatable.
I think that's
I'm in the shade room sometimes, not all the time. Once every morning.
I think it's on
everybody is quoting Obama. Everybody wants Obama back.
But that's America, isn't it?
Black America too. Because they kind of didn't know what they had until he was gone. He was a statesman, a diplomat.
Yeah.
You know, he was still able to have people that were relatable come into the Oval Office. Yeah. And we're not talking about the Kanye West. We're talking about, you know, blacks that had excelled in their industry. And even though you couldn't relate to Obama, you could relate to them. So just through that process.
When I say relatable, I'm saying, back to your question about is Oprah relatable to us now?
Yes.
Barack Obama was incredibly privileged. Probably wasn't in connection with his black side.
Single mother.
But come on,
he
lived in Hawaii.
But I don't know that he was incredibly privileged.
I don't think he was
incredibly smart.
Okay, fine.
Can we talk about Michelle? You know this is a chat show. We've got to move on.
Let's talk about Michelle.
But she's the same, isn't she? I don't know that she was incredibly privileged. I don't think she was. She was just incredibly smart. She had smarts, and she still is very intelligent, and managed to leverage.
As a first lady, everybody's saying that she should go for president.
No, I love Michelle Obama a lot more. I'm more pro Michelle Obama,
really?
Absolutely.
Why?
Yeah, because I think that she's never kind of changed for the status quo, even in her position of authority.
And all the stuff she went through. Remember, she was called a monkey in heels?
Oh my God. The amount of abuse that she faced, and she was always elegant, very regal about it, very professional. I mean, even...
No stories. There was no stories about her being a stripper or anything.
And she was a really good representation of black women.
She was.
She was amazing.
And she still is.
She still is.
And you know, what was our famous quote? When they go low, we go high. You know, and that's what she does, and that's what she continues to do.
And this is why it comes back to your point about her being really clever. I mean, the fact that she's you know, really smart, intelligent, really, you know, educated, she was able to impart that on her position as First Lady, on her children, their conduct. I mean, we didn't start hearing things about, I mean, let's even talk about her as a mother. We didn't start hearing things about, you know, her kids and so on.
Amalia, and come on, that was, you know, a cheeky cigarette at a festival.
You know what I mean? Until much later. She kept everything really, really well. There were no scandals.
She came to a school in Hackney, didn't she?
She did.
She was in Hackney. Was it Haggerston Girls or something? She spoke to the girls. A lot of them, she set them up in mentoring programs.
Absolutely.
She was
even
a great
bringing it back
First Lady.
home to Africa. I mean, if she met a lot of the entrepreneurs that have come from absolutely nothing. In particular, she met one woman that makes like a Nigerian traditional dish called moi moi, who was really, really underprivileged.
We know that.
Yes, of course she did. She was really underprivileged before, and then suddenly made moi moi into a, you know, world-class business. And Michelle Obama, who isn't allowed to taste food in public, actually tasted it and, you know, and kept contact with her and stuff like that. So she doesn't discriminate. She doesn't use her position as I'm better than. She's very humble.
What do we expect from her before we go to the break? Do we expect a political move?
I think she will make one, and I think she should make one. But I think for her to do it off the back of
Obama.
Off the back of Trump, it's too difficult. And I think it's too much of a swing in the other direction for America. I think we're not looking at 2020. I think we're looking at 2024. And I think she needs to do it. And America needs it. America deserves her as a president. But
I don't think America's ready.
No, that's exactly what I was
But we didn't think America was ready for Barack Obama.
Yeah,
and did we think they were ready for him again?
I think
a black woman.
She's black. And she's black.
She's black. She's not
black.
It's too much of a leap for America at the moment to go from Trump, very right-wing, white man, to black woman, liberal, left.
Yeah,
but we celebrate them.
Too much.
We celebrate them. Still to
great.
come, we continue our discussion by celebrating some more influential figures. See you after the break. Welcome back to Nani. Now we're going to move on from politics. I know you guys want to stay on Obama, but we're moving on. Beyonce. That's so interesting. It's funny because, again, you know, I'm always bringing in my producer, but we were talking about it and I was like, gotta be Beyonce. We've got to talk about Beyonce. We've got to talk about Beyonce. It's Nani. Why? She's a bit... Whether or not we love her or loathe her, Beyonce is still a phenomenal black woman. Come on.
Absolutely. She has done a lot for the music industry, for black women in the music industry. She has paved the way. She might be a robot because Glastonbury, 4 months pregnant. Do you remember 2011?
Oh my God, yeah.
Right? And she was wearing that outfit. And I was like, where,
and the Grammys, she was pregnant
where
as
is
well.
the baby? Is it in your armpit? And I just, you know, my thing with Beyonce is that she's a bit sometimes. So sometimes
she's worth $355 million. Sometimes she's the first black woman to headline Coachella. Sometimes she's the highest paid black artist of all time, passing Michael J., the world's highest paid recording artist. Come on.
Give her some
This is a
accolades.
sister.
She deserves the accolades, and Beyonce, you've done very well, but I just feel that...
She's a bit
Tell us, what is this?
She's a bit like, she's a bit like Marmite. You either love her
but
or
she's not Nicki Minaj. Look at all this social media.
This is
Look
the
at
thing.
the kind of social media times we're living in at the moment. Kim K, you know, just barely covering her nipples with a Chanel bra and panty. All of the kind of controversial stuff that she gets involved with, including Rihanna as well. There's nothing on Beyonce. She lives a very clean life. It's okay, she might post a picture that people think is a bit, you know, kind of snooty. But what has she actually done that causes black women any offence?
Now, this is the thing with Beyonce. I'm very, very pro Beyonce. But my reaction in the beginning was because I knew that you might not be pro Beyonce.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm pro Beyonce. I have her albums.
I get what
we have to be, innit? We have to be. Yeah, we have to be.
No, I don't think we have to be. I don't think we have to be.
I do.
That's the fair point.
I've paid to go and see her. I've also got free tickets. I love going. She's an amazing performer. Don't get me wrong. I love Beyonce. I love her music. I just feel that
she's very sometimes. And you know what? That is the vibe a lot of people do get.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my gosh. Okay, go on. No,
I just think that Beyonce, we cannot discredit, and I know you're not discrediting, but we cannot discredit her talent, her efforts towards the community, her awareness on black people in general.
Black Lives Matter.
No,
We're talking about the
feminism,
avoidance of
black
Barack
women.
Obama and Oprah, Beyonce.
Something as little as putting
Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl. It's not something as little as putting Chimamanda's feminism extract in a song. Do you know how much of a difference that made to Chimamanda's life? I mean, no disrespect to Chimamanda, but the fact is, Beyonce uses her platform to
elevate other blacks.
other
What
people.
about the first black photographer to get a cover on Vogue magazine?
Yeah, and
that was
absolutely,
through
it was
her.
her. And
there's
even
that jacket that says my Beyonce's publicist is black, as in she can do all of these things and still have a black publicist.
Yeah. And even like her you know, the videos and music videos and things that are choreographed, she goes, like, she's detailed. Like, she'll go to, I think it was the Run the Girls where they did like massive choreography, and
from South Africa.
I think it was Ivory Coast. But she went there and met the street kids and actually, you know, helped them and put them on and stuff like that. And I mean, yes, I mean, people think that she should do it. She's a celebrity and she's using their talent and stuff like that. But she doesn't have to. And the fact is, it's clear that it's quite passionate. It's quite something of passion to it. It's dear to her heart. Even if you look at her child, right? Blue Ivy came under fire because
she had nappy hair
and a nose, apparently.
And a nose.
Yeah,
you know,
she sings about it. And let's not forget that she kind of has an identity crisis here because her mum is French Creole, who a lot of them settled in Louisiana. You know, her dad's black. Her dad's same person that's spoken about colorism. The fact that accused her of only being famous because she's fair skinned. You know, she's had to deal with all the scandals from her dad. I think she really, the point I'm trying to make is I think she really understands fame. And she really knows how to deal with fandom and so on. Because I've watched a lot of her interviews and she'll tell you that social media has kind of disintegrated the illusion between a fan and a star, because now you can commucate with them, you can see their everyday life. There's not that, you know, that adoration, as it were.
There's not that barrier.
Let me the beehive will be commenting underneath that clip. But let's talk about Jay-Z, because she's worth $355 million. Him, $900 million.
Wow.
Did he bring her up? Do you think he kind of boosted her?
I think they brought each other
Street
up.
cred, but did he? But him.
No, but, you know,
let's talk about Jay-Z
they got together,
quickly.
Though, I reckon this whole thing was set up from the beginning.
Oh, here we go.
No, it is,
I
because
don't think
I don't think. Why? How?
Why can't we believe that they met and fell in love?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. First of all, no, I don't believe that. She was a child star. There was no way they just met and fell in love.
Why?
No, she had already.
He was significantly older than her.
She had won 5 Grammys.
So why did they meet?
Significantly older than her.
At the time that they met.
I would say about 10 years. But she was in her 20s.
Jay-Z has said that in an interview
that
he was on Beyonce's tail since she was in Destiny's Child, which was about 16.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So
but what are we saying? Who set this up? Who set this up?
Well,
the industry.
Well, yeah.
Powers.
Let's just say the powers that be set it up. But I think it was good. It was a good setup because, like you said, I totally agree with you. They did bring each other up. She was great for his public image. Yep. He was great for her public image.
And now they're billionaires, and we're happy to go on the run tour. 3 times. 3 tickets, please. Okay, we're in the UK. It's not fair that we don't mention some of our stars. Idris Elba.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's a good reaction.
Yeah. I love Idris Elba.
I absolutely love
him, but he's a gallus apparently.
Yeah,
really?
Allegedly.
But he is engaged now. He's engaged now.
She's
Sabrina.
Hot. She's hot.
And she's very hot.
But for how long? All I'm saying is, listen, he hasn't seen me with this new hair. All I'm saying is, he keeps it real.
He does.
He's an Eastern boy. He DJs.
Black James Bond.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yes,
even the way he dealt with that whole scandal was so...
It was good PR for him.
Yeah.
It was good PR.
It was brilliant PR for him. And it was around the time that Yardie was coming out.
Yes.
His first directorial debut.
Yeah.
But he can do huge blockbusters. And he can properly act. He can do small screen. He can direct.
And he seems to be
and let's
a great
not forget him
guy,
in The Wire.
doesn't he?
The Wire.
The Wire.
You can't discredit that
The Wire.
at all.
Which,
no.
and
the American actor.
Luther.
Yes, like I said.
Those are 2 things that I remember.
Look how excited we are talking about Idris. No, but he does seem like a great role model as well, doesn't he?
And I've watched some of his documentaries and stuff that, you know, is just about his real life, his family, his background. He's great. I mean, he doesn't kind of sway away from his identity. He brings that on the screen. He really immerses himself into characters when he's acting.
And he's British.
And
he's British.
And
he
he's
hasn't
black.
kind of gone over there and forgot about us. Last, but please, I mean it, not least, we love you, okay? No shade. Naomi Campbell.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 She was the first black supermodel. She probably had to go through, oh no, one of the first, not the first,
first.
one of the
Hey,
first.
you know there are many
Excuse me.
before then.
Yeah,
They'll be like,
true.
how dare
but
you?
probably the first British one.
Yeah.
And
65 Vogue covers. Is this true?
yeah.
No, she's
And
great. She's great.
Really seminal in her time. She came through that time with Kate Moss and all the others, and she probably had to face
A lot.
untold stories.
Yeah, she comes through drink and
discrimination
drugs.
and
And she
racism
says it
that
all
we
the
don't
time,
know
the amount
about.
of things that she's had to go through.
You can
Absolutely.
imagine.
You know, just
Yeah.
to be where she is. And I think that's the thing with people that are in these kind of positions, that, you know, when you're of colour and you're in that kind of position, people tend to kind of come at you a lot, but people don't actually know what you've had to
But
do.
do you
to
think
be
it's? Do you think the title of her being that angry black woman? And let's be honest, the British public do not like Naomi. There's
Yeah.
just been too many stories.
This whole
Do you
angry
think-
black
do you-
woman trope.
But do you think it's valid for Naomi?
I think it's. I think she's probably been put in a lot of situations where
Not getting the tea to her fast enough.
No, but I think there is an element of that. Don't get me wrong. She probably has an element of diva.
Yeah.
And you know
Which-
what we all do. But I also,
rightly
but I
so.
also think,
She's a
but I also
supermodel.
think
Yeah.
there is an element of people will see a little bit of that and then take it further. And she gets this whole angry black woman tag, and a lot of the stories are exaggerated. I think, but I think that there is an element of it. And there is an element of fiction to it as well.
She's been so supportive of Edward Enninful as well,
Yeah,
hasn't she?
yeah.
We have to wrap up. It's
Oh,
so
this
sad.
is so
I've loved
sad.
this. We need to do this more.
We
We
do.
do.
We need to
We
do
do.
this
With
without
Prosecco.
fear. Yeah, with Prosecco at 11 p.m.
Yes.
Amen.
and not feel ashamed to talk about and critique our black heroes and
absolutely.
heroines, right?
Absolutely.
That's it from me, Juliana Olajinka, and my fantastic guests, Afia Adam and Lape Banjo. Don't forget, guys, Noni is now online, so wherever you are in the world, go to www.yankatv.com to check out every single episode. Join me next time for more Noni Chat. Goodbye.